All right. Let's wait for a second. Give me about a minute or so. Wait for see if people come on. You know, I was watching all of these different speakers from the Republican National Convention last night, and it gave me this idea today. You know, it's funny because Dwan has the better voice than me. He was gifted from God, his voice. But he hasn't quite learned how to tell stories like I do. So at this point, I'm the better speaker as far as the way I tell things, the way I speak about things. And he absolutely adores listening to me talk. It's because that's how he learns, through pictures in his brain. I give him visualization. That's what I try to do. That's how my mom taught me that. So, all right, let's get going here. My name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Normal J Gaming, and what we do here is listen to you talk, except for today, of course. Now I will. Hey, what's up, Denise? I will take any questions and things and ideas for subjects that you guys might have, and I will talk about them tomorrow or in the next few days. But today, I'm gonna make that same mistake. Today, I think that with everything that goes on around this country, sometimes politics can really affect people badly. And while I don't like to talk about politics, you have no sound. But you have no sound. Man, what the hell, dude? There better be damn sound. Okay. Anna can hear me. Denise, turn up your phone. Turn up your phone, girl. Why is it little Brazilian gerbils can't even work a phone very well? Anyway. Hey Denise, you need to get a gerbil-sized phone. It would help you with your little claws. Anyway, so y'all, I'm telling you right now, Denise is that big. When she was walking across the street with me to Walmart, she looked like my daughter going to kindergarten. I cannot even make that up. It's so... Come here, little girl. I look like a chomo, man. I look like a chomo walking beside her. Y'all see this? Crazy ass. All right, no. Anyway, so no distractions, y'all. Stop being funny. I love them to death. So I was watching all of these RNC speeches, and it's amazing how some of these speakers speak. And I sent one of them to Denise, and a very good one. And made me come up with this idea for today. Because I do this with my friends. I normally don't do this on camera, but I have done this with Dwan. I've done this with Denise. I go on one of my little speeches to try to encourage people, and it truly is motivating. Now, my big, I hope you guys understand what I'm about to say. My biggest problem with motivational speakers, however, is that they always motivate, but they never show you how. Well, I always show you guys how. I need to make sure that there's a combination of that. I want you guys to feel good about doing this. This is a long process. But in this particular case, these are hard times for a lot of people. And even with people that don't have mental illness, there are people that are really sad. They're losing their money, their house, their stuff. And they didn't do anything wrong. Inflation has caused that. Every time Sophia goes to the store and we go to the store, Sophia complains. It's every time. Sophia's not a complainer, but it's true. It's awful. And what about a person like me? I make $735 a month, and I finally got smart with my money, and now I have this Roth IRA. And Sophia's keeping it for me, and yeah, I'm making some money off that. But I do find it strange. The market reflects politics, but you guys didn't know that. And then whoever is in marketing, they'll say, "Well, duh, Daryl." Some people don't know that. I do find it funny that former President Trump, hopefully future President Trump, gets shot on Saturday, and on Monday, I make $175. On Tuesday, or excuse me, on Monday, I make $204. That the market has been steadily going up. I do find that funny, and I'm going to make more today. I already see it; it's in the green. So, money will get better underneath the president, but a lot of people have lost stuff. They have to start over now, and what I would suggest to you is that using the ingredients, no matter who you are, and following the steps, whoever you are, is going to help you get out of that situation, especially carrying the ingredients, though, in this case. If you haven't lost anything before, you're not going to understand this. If you've never truly lost something. And that means psychological, too. I mean, I lost my ever-loving mind. By the time I met Sophia, I was morally, spiritually, not physically yet, but morally, spiritually. I suppose drinking too much would be considered physically, too. But morally and spiritually, I was bankrupt. I was about to lose everything, my life, everything. And you need to understand that it took me a long time to come up with the reasons why it was Sophia. That was a big question for me for a long time. She gave me the motivation. I didn't believe it at first, just like I didn't believe anybody else before that. So I've asked this question 1,000 times. Why her? Why not my mother? Or my father? I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not even going to pretend like Desiree did not. Desiree and I talked. Our relationship was wonderful at first. She's a very smart person. I'm not attracted to dumb people. Desiree and I used to have great conversations. I was teaching her the Bible and everything. At least because I didn't believe in myself is why that didn't work. People get tired of waiting for you to be different. Her whatever potential she saw, she never believed I would accomplish it. And rightfully so. Why though? Why Sophia? Well, that's the thing. That's what I've been having to figure out for the last 17 years. Why Sophia? What is it that I'm actually trying to show you guys? How did I do it? Great, Daryl, you changed your life. You're trying to start a business. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, good for you. Because I'm looking for praise. No. When it first started, I didn't. I treated her just like I treated everybody else. In fact, to be honest with you, when I first met Sophia, yeah, I was waiting to be kicked out. Because eventually everybody got tired of me. That was my philosophy. Pretty sad, huh? Well, check this out. What I figured out was there was a nasty little soup being created. It was nasty because I wanted to get out of it, which is good news. It's a nasty soup that you create eventually this nasty thing that you create that your whole entire being rejects, and you're desperate to get out of it. It's now turned into desperation. Okay. One thing, I didn't know how to live life without alcohol. Okay? I knew that I needed to change. I knew that if I didn't change that, I would die of alcohol poisoning or something. I want to get shot because I did something stupid or whatever. Kill myself, But not just that. There was the belief in myself. There was none. I had no one. Okay? I knew that no one believed me even when I said something. No one believed what I said. No one believed that I could change. People would finish with me. But I created something inside me called want to. I had it. And that is only created inside of yourself when you've actually had it, not when you think you've had it. Everyone can go lower and lower and lower. And unfortunately, the truth is some people never get low enough and they die. That's the truth of it. The truth is some people never realize that they ever want to change and they die. Okay? That woman that just passed away, she had a daughter. She had an alcohol problem. Battled with it for years. Also had bipolar disorder, by the way. Yep. She had bipolar disorder and she drank, and then she just died at a fairly young age. Chris Cornell, if you listen to his music, he was begging for help. Listen to his music. He was begging for help in his music. He was begging somebody to help him. I can't remember. Don't ask me to remember who died first, because it was Chris Cornell and it was Chester Bennington. Chester Bennington, listen to his music. He was begging for help. I'm glad you guys enjoyed his songs. That was his way to vent his stuff out. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? It's a wonderful way to vent your stuff out. Music is. Nothing happened. And it came to the end and they both hung themselves. Well, I was to that point. In other words, had it went on any longer, I would have killed myself eventually. Eventually, I would have gotten over the whole hell thing. Because I wouldn't have cared. I was to that point. And part of me thought I deserved hell anyway. So, anyway, when you have that thought process, it's bad. So Sophia met me during a period of time where basically I was begging for anyone to help me with anything. And she grabbed my hand. She gave me a hand up. I know you guys think that Sophia supports me. Well, she kind of does. But if you think that that's because she is obligated to support me, she's not obligated to support anyone. She supports me. And trust me, she's had to give me a couple threats to get my butt going. Well, drinking was one of them. Before she came up here, or down here, to Texas, she threatened me, told me, Daryl, I'm not going to come down here there if you're not even making an attempt to change. Well, I thought I was effed. Now, some people would think that was mean. That's mean, Sophia. You know what he's went through, right? I had been through hell. Why couldn't Sophia be understanding and threaten to leave me homeless because she wanted me to stop drinking? Shame on her. Good for her. There has to be lines. And it was going to be her way or the highway. Everyone has the right to have lines. Everyone has the right to have boundaries. I have the right to tell you, if you don't do this, I can't be around you. Lori, what's funny? Lori, when I first met Lori, she was drinking a lot more. Yeah, she still drinks. She'll go in there and drink. But she also knows it bothers me. She respects me so much that I never see a glass in her hand. I cannot remember the last time I saw a glass in her hand. No, I smell it on her breath. She's in a lot of pain sometimes and uncomfortable. I don't blame her. In fact, but we have wonderful conversations. I love Lori. Lori's my girl. That's my little former cheerleader. Now she will roll her eyes when she sees this, and she'll give me smack tonight for saying that. That's my little blonde Texan, 61-year-old potty mouth snark. She's as hard-headed as anybody. But we have wonderful conversations. She gives me ideas on stuff, and she's run a business before. How convenient. But I wondered how Sophia started it. I always wondered that. What was the situation in which made me listen to her? Why not my mother? Well, it's really hard to listen to my mother, and even my mother admitted out of her own mouth that she couldn't understand homelessness. Neither can Sophia. Again, that still doesn't answer the question. What happened? Well, it had to be a combination of different things. It had to be a combination of my want to get off the streets, my want to be different, my want to change my life, and not just my want to do that. That wouldn't have been it. I wanted to. I realized I needed to. I lost everything. That's not enough. Someone needed to help me. And it had to be one that was going to be willing to put up with a lot of shit, because I had a lot of shit. 2, it had to be someone kind enough and understanding enough to listen and then give me advice, because nobody else was trying to do any deal with me. So I had to literally, by accident, find someone that had both traits. They could give great advice and I could vent to it and yell and beat up. So you understand what I'm saying? That's fine, Anna. Just watch it later. It's cool. It's okay. You'll like this one. So those things were part of it. And then it was the encouragement to go forward. So as I'm going forward through these years, we're to year 18 now. God, it's just, y'all, in my head right now, that was a lifetime ago. I barely remember how I felt. It is so far away from me now. All the pains and things that I had back then. And I can tell you certain stories that, to be honest with you, I would have needed a drink years ago. That was one of the things that I had to start doing, is talking about my deeper stuff and getting out all my rage. My rage was horrendous. I started having blackouts. At first they were accidental, and they were triggered by things that I was talking about. Yes, alcohol was involved, but they weren't alcoholic blackouts. Alcoholic blackouts is when alcohol literally causes you to have the blackout. No, this would be triggered by something by saying, I know, right? Hey, Dwan, why you gotta say it like that, though? Get off my thing. Hey, Denise, boot Dwan off my thing. He don't need to be saying shit like that. Don't boot Dwan off the thing. He's too fat. Dwan's too fat to be booted. You'd hurt your foot. How you gonna be like that dude? Quarter of a century? Why do you gotta say it like that, though? You're my brother. Hold up, dude. Are you trying to sabotage our business? Dude, that's the owner of this business, y'all. Y'all, you're aging us, Dwan. We're not 25 years. We're 25 years old, that's true. Damn it, Denise. You're a bad moderator. What a mean person. No, anyway, check this out. Quarter of a century. Why do you gotta say it like that? Damn. That is a long time though, Dwan, if you think about it. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. I had to get through my rage first. I had not talked about any anger issues. Anything that angered me. How I was treated by people, how I was treated by myself. Not very nice, Dwan. I'm proud of you. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. My fingers have Tourette's. They say things. Anyway, so when Dwan gets here, y'all, I'm gonna beat that motherfucker's ass. Swear to God, I'm gonna show you rage in a minute. Anyway, so I had to get out my rage first. All right, and it was awful. I started having Sophia record my blackouts. I started having Sophia record my blackouts. You know, y'all ruining this. I'm trying to tell a serious story about myself. What the hell? So, I don't have them anymore. I can't watch them. Not anymore. I used them for medicinal purposes, and I used them to heal myself because I needed to see the thing, because I don't remember anything in a blackout. I needed to see how I acted because Sophia told me some crazy shit. Sophia told me some crazy shit and things I don't remember I did, and I needed to see it. Let's see here. Yeah, and I cannot make this up. This was what, 2011, 2012? Yep, sure word, Dwan. But check this out. So, I watched these videos and verified everything Sophia had told me. Let me put it to you this way. Sophia has been a nurse from the mental institution. She's been a doctor from the mental institution. She's been a patient at the mental institution. She was a homeless woman once. She's been Desiree. She's been Jennifer. There was nothing wrong with me, right? That's why venting is important. Keep your fingers down. Dude, that was Tourette's, Denise. How dare you? Tourette's of the fingers. Got like a bunch of moms and dads on here trying to talk to me and shit. Dare, don't do this. Dare, don't do that. Oh my God, you're old now. I hate all you. These are my friends. Just think about the enemies I have. Anyway, so I'm dead serious about that, though. She was a nurse. She was evil Tourette's. Yes, it was evil Tourette's. That wasn't my finger. That was your finger. How do I know you're not here? Nope. Probably not keeping this live. Anyway. So I watched these videos, and sure enough, y'all, dead serious. the way I treated Sophia was so rotten. It was beyond understanding. And it wasn't just that I didn't know who she was. That I thought she was somebody else. It was what I said about her. She couldn't touch me, of course. You can never touch me when I'm like that. You can, if I'm having a PTSD moment, you cannot put your hands on me. You can't. Actually, I'll tell you something. Sophia's got a bit of PTSD too. Ever since she was assaulted at her VA, if you try to come up from behind her, you'll give her an anxiety attack. Really. So don't ever come up from behind Sophia and talk to. Just wait till she turns around, and don't yell loudly. She gets scared easily. And it was really bad at first. My point is, that's part of what Sophia had to go through. That's part of what you may have to go through if you're trying to help somebody. You say, oh no, I'm not signing up for that. Then don't bother. Because if it's not that, then it means nothing. It doesn't have to be all at once. And by the way, this wasn't all at once anyway. When you haven't talked about your issues ever, and you don't ever get them out in the way they need to get out, you're not going to talk about violence or rape or things that happened to you maybe and talk to them in a happy mood. That's not the proper way. You need to talk to them in the way you feel about it. Dwan needed to talk about his biological father because he ate him up inside. We all did it. Sophia has almost punched me before. Okay? And I don't mean because of retaliation for me. I'm talking about because she got angry. We've all done it. I've gotten Dwan's face before. Ain't I, Dwan? Still can't believe you got that job and you got ruined your SSI. I won't go there. Won't go there, Dwan. But you did. You know you did. But that made me so mad. You ruined everything. You ruined your whole. You know you got to work your ass off like this, and you could have been on SSI. No, man. I was just trying to protect you, and you didn't even want to listen to me. See, Anna. Dwan has acted like a doo-doo head too. Ask Dwan. Dwan, tell Anna on here right now how much of a shithead you used to be. Tell her. Direct your answer towards Anna, Dwan. Tell her. Tell her what kind of shithead you used to be about not listening to me. Hey, Dwan, do you remember that time? Do you remember that time with you and Rose, where you and Rose didn't listen to me about that? Remember that lesbian, weirdo, psychopath person that was addicted to painkillers? That you guys thought was going to get you a house, and you guys didn't listen to me. And I didn't see you for a few days. And then one day I saw you coming off a bus. You're like, hey, D. And then you guys came. You came to me with a puppy dog tail look. And the Rose was like, you guys like, you're right. You're right, Daryl. It is hard, okay? The reason why, it's okay, Dwan. It's okay, so was I. Listen, and since Dwan is on here, he can verify some of the stuff. The thing about this is, the reason why this is usually the reaction I get, usually, is because I am pumping up emotions that you have never dealt with. So I'm purposely making you angry. But you don't like anger. Dwan doesn't like anger. Dwan, tell me something. Before that day we had that conversation with your father, why don't you tell Anna how often you got angry before that? Please, by all means. I'll continue talking while you answer that question for her. I pumped that out of him. I poked, and I poked, and I poked. And I said, I made sure I wanted him mad so he could talk about it. That's right. Dwan still to this day. He don't like being pumped up. It bothers him. And Dwan, you don't have to get into personal reasons why. Someday when you talk to Anna, if that's ever happens, you can tell Anna personally why you don't like anger. And I bet you two have a similar story. A lot similar than she thinks. But the reason why that's usually the reaction on some of these things is because you've never... Yeah, I know, Dwan. Hey, Dwan, isn't it crazy how life works, though? That's crazy. Yeah. Yep. And it's supposed to. It's not supposed to endure. It's not supposed to Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know English. I'm trying to speak now. It's not... I'm going to try to say this word now. My God, what is wrong with me today? It's not supposed to induce happiness, sexual well-being, pride. It's supposed to induce shame, unhappiness, hopefully not violence too much where you go to jail, but it's supposed to. And it's supposed to be directed towards me. Only me. And by the way, I know martial arts, you can't punch me and you're not going to hit me. So I don't care. You can try. I will think it's a little silly. I'll put you in timeout. You'll have to sit in the chair. I'll put you in a bird cage. Anna's tiny, so... What, Anna? You're short. Like, you're only an inch and a half taller than Denise. So, I mean, don't act like you're some tall person. I know I'm not tall at all. Okay, Dewan's 6 foot. He's tall. All right. Yeah, that's right, Dwan. Exactly. It forces you to look into the mirror, Anna. What you see is a lie. You see, and I don't mean you, Anna. I mean, I will use myself. I saw a monster. So when Sophia was telling me, Daryl, no, you're not. You're this and this. You went through. I didn't see what she saw. So even though Dwan loved me, Sophia loved me, I had lots of people that I befriended that no longer wanted to do anything with me because I wouldn't listen to them. It forces you to change. It makes it, we're like, okay, what are they seeing? What is it that they're seeing? Why do they keep seeing this thing that I don't see? And it is detrimental to you to not deal with it. Denise. Dwan, do you read that comment? Please. That was a good lightning joke, Denise. Very good timing. Dwan, give her a round of applause for that joke. That was a great timed response. Great job, Denise. God, I punch you. That was a great timed response, Denise. Good job. That was awesome. So, the idea is we have to deal with the negativity first, not the happiness. You hear happiness all the time. That's the problem. When you hear happiness, Dwan, that's all he ever heard of people. Oh, look at Dwan. Look at that Dwan. Oh, he's just a humble guy. You can beat. Oh, he's a jovial guy. Dwan, do you like being looked at like that? I'll let you answer that. I'll keep talking. He wants to be seen for his voice and his talents, and no one saw any of it. And of course, he stopped even making. He started making. He stopped trying. When you have that stuff inside you, take for example what happened on Saturday. The former president of the United States gets shot. I have no idea what was wrong with that guy that tried to do this. He's now dead and we'll never know. But you don't commit acts of violence like that because you're normal. So if I was going to, that's right, Juan. So if I was going to take a guess, the guy had problems. Is it an excuse? Of course it's not. We love you, Denise. Aw. That was great timing. Good job, Denise. So, but think about this. This guy killed somebody. And out of respect for Anna, I won't talk about it, but Anna knows what happened to her, and that was not an accident. As far as the result of it. See, I see it differently. It was an accident, yes. It was a result of the finality of your when you keep things inside you for a long time, you can get numb. So now it looks like you don't have emotions, and it's easier to be happy than it is to be sad. So you can cover up, and you don't ever think about it, and maybe you can go from this situation to this situation to this situation, and you can know you'll be happy in this one. So that's the world you live in. So you never go outside your box, and you definitely don't explore anything. So you always stay in the happy box. And anything uncomfortable makes you have them feelings that you don't like. Because what happens is, if you begin to feel those emotions, it becomes to turn to darkness, to violence. That's why you vent. It's called venting. Venting, as far as a geographical object, a vent from a volcano is there to make sure the volcano doesn't go boom. You vent. You don't do it overnight. It's venting. You slowly let out steam. Psst, psst, psst. Okay, watch this. This is venting. Get that bottle nice and tight. Nice and hard. See how it fizzed up? That's an open bottle. That's been open for a little bit. That's not going to do it as well for this one because it's not open right. Did you hear that noise? Had it been fuller and newer, you would have seen those bubbles rise all the way to the top. In other words, you can't just open it. You can't just go, okay, let it all out. No, it's venting. You have to, like, have you ever accidentally dropped a pop bottle, a soda bottle? You drop it on the floor and go, oh my God, I can't open it. Yes, you can. There's a way. I could go. I do have an unopened Dr. Pepper in there, a cold one. I can show you. I'm almost thinking about it. It would be a great example. Maybe next time. But basically, you open it one click at a time. You open it, close it, open it, close it, open it, close it, until all of it is out. It's venting. Works the same way with the volcano. That's venting, guys. That way, I can have my soda and drink it. Otherwise, it'll spill everywhere, and it'll make a mess. It's just a natural process of life. It's just science. Your brain is not supposed to take one emotion or two emotions. It's not. You're supposed to be able to do this full spectrum of emotions. Now, in the case of bipolar disorder, we go over the top a lot. And no, if you can't handle the feelings of and the emotions of bipolar disorder, one second, let me make sure what time it is. We got 20 more minutes, then I'll have to go. If you can't handle the emotions, the overtop emotions, the mania, and the over happiness, and all the stuff that happens with that, and the sleeplessness, yeah, you're probably going to need meds to counter these things until you get used to it. But you should go get counseling, because once you get counseling, in other words, if you don't talk to somebody like me, if you don't get counseling, or if you don't vent to somebody, like to one of your friends, if you don't have someone close, go to a counselor, vent to them, because over time, as you're working through your problems, you will be able to get off your meds. That's a fact. I'm sorry to tell you that. You don't have to be on them forever. Anna brings up a good point. Something I do to say in the venting video, and I've said many times on lives and stuff. Who you vent to, in fact, you can watch the old venting video, I talk about it. It matters who you vent to. I'll tell you something. One of the, I guess now I guess I'm probably putting personal bias on it. That's why I have such a problem with it. But I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can be. But when I was in the hospital and I just got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, I must have vented out my frustration and anger towards the entire situation. And I told the truth to the counselor. But you need to understand, if you go to counselors, they are obligated by law to report any threat of another human being or yourself. Okay? Even if you're just venting it out. Even if it's how you feel. I'm going to be honest with you. I find that disgusting. But that's what the law. That's the law. I think it's wrong to force a person to report somebody that is actually getting help. My words are not going to kill somebody. My words are actually coming out of my mouth, out of my head, so that I don't effing kill somebody, so that I don't effing kill myself. So what happened was to me is I go to that group home, and less than 2 days after I got there, I had 2 restraining orders on me. Now I don't know I don't know why this happened. I must have said something to the counselors. That's the only thing that my mom and dad could figure. Because my mom and dad showed up within 15 minutes of that restraining order showing up. And they let me know that, Daryl, we had nothing to do with this. My mom and dad were so upset by this. So yeah. So there are consequences to doing it to the wrong people. And not everybody, and there are some people out there that are so cold-blooded and so cold-hearted, they absolutely, doesn't matter what your problems are, they don't want to hear what you have to say. They want to hear it. They don't want to hear about your whining. So even if you've been raped or somebody's died around you, they don't even want to hear nothing about your problem. That's probably not a good person to go to on anything, by the way. It's not a very good person. And here's how you judge this, in my opinion. First, that person that you're venting to better be able to take some shit. Because as you're venting, you might try to control it at first, because that's what I did. I tried to vent a little bit. But as the venting got more powerful, it started to become, well, let me put it this way, it wasn't the Christian channel. I was saying, MF for this, MF for that, F that dude, I want to kill this dude, I wish this person dies of, yeah, it was like that. That person, and then sometimes it turns on the person you're venting to. And there's two sides of this. There's the person that is listening to the venting, and there's the person venting. The person listening to the venting, if you're doing it, you need to have boundaries. If that person starts to begin to attack you for your advice, for your just sitting there listening, one, if they don't calm down, you're going to have to tell them, we'll do this another day. Let me digest this stuff. And you don't have to be mean about it. Just say, I need to digest what you just told me. And we'll try this again tomorrow. We'll try it and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay? You got to be able to do that if you're helping the person. But in the case of the person that's venting, if you're worried that your friend or your family member is going to call the police or the hospital every single time you say something, don't say another word. They are not the people you vent to. I mean, do you seriously want to try to help yourself and go to jail or go to the hospital every time? Come on, man. Some people are so ignorant, and they don't see that they're being ignorant. That the person is actually trying to help themselves, and they put them in jail or they put them in the hospital. Unbelievable. That girl that I was telling you guys about, Maddie, she's been to the hospital a couple of times in the last couple of months. In my opinion, I think some of it's warranted. I think she needs to get on some strong meds. But she's been talking to me every time she passes by me now. She apologized to me. She knows she did wrong to me. You know, she tried to act like a certain way, and even though I welcomed her in my home, she, you know, I gave her a safe place. So I gave her somewhere to vent, to talk about her issues and problems, and she kind of bit me a little bit. But I talked to her still. I'm very ask Lori if she ever gets on there. Ask Lori. I'm one of the most forgiving people you'll ever meet. The reason being is because I have to be, because I wanted to be forgiven at one time. You need to understand that I wanted to be forgiven at one time, and nobody would forgive me for anything. So why would I be like that to you? Makes no sense, right? And by the way, forgiveness isn't... You know, forgiveness is one of those things that many Christians just don't get. Like my family, this is their idea of forgiveness. Oh, I forgive you, Daryl, but then remind me every 5 minutes that, well, Daryl, you did do this. Daryl, you did do that. Question. Got a question for everybody. The definition of Christian is Christ-like, is it not? Is that what Christ does for forgiveness? Does Christ remind you every 5 minutes of the stuff you did, or does he wipe away your sin? Which means it's as if you sinned, it's as if you never sinned. That's the way we're supposed to be. Once you forgive a person of their sin, the way you work it is, of course, you don't be a dummy either, because some people will ask for forgiveness and they're not really sorry. They just want your friendship. Be wise as serpents and gentle as doves. That is advice. That is advice given to Christians about how to be wary of other people. The idea is, okay, be gentle, be understanding of people, all those things, but be understanding that people lie. Basically, that people are deceitful. Be aware of snakes, those sorts of things that you can tell a liar from a mile away because his actions do not match his words. My actions have always matched my words. I have so much proof of that now that it's really, I get tired of explaining it to people, but since there's so many new people coming to me into my life, I still have to explain those things. But if you ever want to, if anybody ever wants to verify whether I'm a liar, well, let's see. 1, there's at least two people on here that know me for a long while now. And Lori will watch this later. You can ask her. See where I'm going? And by the way, Sophia can comment. You can ask her. The ingredients and the steps were tried on all of these people, and all of these people have changed. 100%. I won't get into Sophia's life. I'm hoping that she will. I'm trying to coax her and kind of get her on camera because she's awesome on camera. I've known Sophia for 18 years, and we've been through hell. And she was not the same person either. She is not completely innocent. She's not. Sometimes she treats me like crap too, even now. But you know what happens? And this is your motivation for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month, for the rest of your life. This fight doesn't need to be fought alone. It ought not be fought alone. You need to look over to your right and to your left. And are you certain that they would go to battle for you? Are you certain that they would line up next to you, knowing that they have put themselves in mortal danger, career danger, and sacrifice all of it to make sure that you're not taken? I can. I now officially can. All of my friends would die for me. And I don't care if you guys believe me or not. They know I would die for them. Or I wouldn't do this. You don't understand what it's taxing on me. That's what I was saying about in the middle of the night. Sometimes it's taxing on me. And I don't like to complain about it. That's right. Thank you, Dwan. And so, I know that the world is crazy right now. And especially for people with mental illness. I know that you wanna, some of you are so angry you want to go to war. Some of you are so angry you want to hurt somebody. And unfortunately, somebody was so angry they wanted to kill the president, the former president. These are not the ways, guys. Is civil war coming? Sure. Then your solution is to abandon all your friends and to tell them to go F off, right? No, these are the times we get together. These are the times that we must be strong together. That we must be able to take the walls of the devil. Because if you don't, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get in trouble. We love one another, but we must practice. You know, one of the things that I do with them, and they try to do with me, is me and Dwan will play the devil's advocate. He will come at me with an argument that I know is wrong, so that I can defend the truth. That's called practice, baby. It's like a mock trial in a debate, or in a court. Excuse me, not a debate. We practice these things. Dwan absolutely adores it. That's right, Dwan. Except that a fist is not stronger than my middle finger, okay? You understand? Anyway, I couldn't help it, okay? Dude, it's just... I have problems, alright, guys? It's okay. It's okay. We'll be fine here. Anyway, the solution is not to fight one another. We're on the same side. Why? We fight for one another. We make each other strong. And no, we tell the truth all the time. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. But we do not live, we do not live in a society where we're by ourselves. I heard a speech last night from Tucker Carlson, and he is I guess you would consider him a theistic evolutionist. Don't get me started on that. I don't agree with that, but he's a somewhat Christian. That's what I call him, somewhat Christian. He definitely supports Christianity, and he part of his speech was, but he was just talking about his mind frame a long time ago, something he had realized, because he said he hadn't been in politics for a while, and he said being around politics the last few days, he forgot how nasty those people are. That liberals aren't just ideologically different than us. They hate Christians. They hate us with a passion. This is what Tucker Carlson said last night at the RNC. Why? Because we will sit there and pray in front of an abortion clinic. We will sit there and lock arms and we will get in front of someone trying to close down a church. We don't use violence. Doesn't mean we can't have self-defense. That's not wrong. But we don't use violence. We don't attack. America used to stand for that. Remember, we didn't start the Revolutionary War. They did. They started the Revolutionary War when they told the men in the Continental Congress that all of you are going to be hung. And that's when the famous quote from Benjamin Franklin said, "Well, guys, we surely better hang together, or we're going to, or most assuredly, we're going to hang separately." I would give that warning to Christians now. If we're going to fight amongst one another, we can debate about Christianity all day long. It's fine. But in the end, they don't care. They don't care if you're Baptist or Methodist or Church of Christ, a Catholic, a Protestant. They don't care. They want Jesus eliminated. These people. It's not all atheists. I'm saying, though, militant atheism is a real thing. They don't just believe that there's no God. They believe that they're like Bill Nye the Science Guy. He is a militant atheist. He believes it is child abuse to teach creationism. I'm sorry I just got religious on y'all. But in the end, if I'm going to be truthful, it's not going to be the U.S. military that saves us. It's going to be, well, I would say it's going to be the same thing that saved Donald Trump. It's going to be just and Dwan will know what I'm referencing here. It will be just an accidental miss from a headshot like him. Because me and Dwan believe in accidents, right? That far away from his head. There's a lot of people calling it a modern miracle. A lot of people calling it that. I don't necessarily believe it's that, but that's definitely divine providence. That's divine providence. That is like when George Washington was sitting across the Delaware, and by the way, you can go and look at the minutes. The report from the Congress is actually in our Congress. If you go to the Library of Congress, you can look at all the old documents where George where George Washington, was shot at by all of these people, and nothing but bullet holes were in his coat. It's a fact. It happened. God doesn't have to perform miracles to show his providence, but he does show his providence, I assure you. And if you want providence shown on you, you have to earn that. That's not just given. It comes through time and work, and a lot of sweat and blood and tears. And you can change your life, guys. And God will protect you. I believe that. Once you were brought to him and you were saved, there is nothing you should fear. Nothing that you should fear from them. Now you fear things, but nothing you should fear from them. Their words are rhetoric and they mean nothing. Learn the arguments. Learn what atheism teaches. Learn what evolution teaches. Know the arguments. Just like a lawyer has to study a case, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. That's how I fight it. I mean, I could take all of the evidence that I have acquired over my life, and I could bring it to a judge right now, and we could have a conversation whether there's a God. Not a lawyer on this planet would take that case. You know why? I don't mean take the case from me. I would defend myself. No lawyer would try to fight me on that, because they know the evidence is overwhelming. The problem is many Christians don't. The evidence is overwhelming. Scientists don't even want to have debates with creationists anymore, because, especially on the subject whether there's a God, they can't prove that there's no God. That's the problem. They lost the debate then. See, they don't want that proof. They want that. So I want you guys to remember that for the week, that you are stronger than iron. If you want to be, but you're not stronger than iron by yourself. And only through fire can you temper yourself. You know, they used to stick swords after they would make them into leather to temper it. Until you are tempered, until you turn into tempered steel, a cutting weapon, a weapon for your God, for yourself, for your beliefs, you have no chance. They know too many tactics. They know how to defeat you. They know how to make you feel dumb. 2 words, belly button. Yes. Okay, Dwan, stop that. But let you guys go. Be safe when you're driving home. Be safe when you get there. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. And remember, one thing I'm going to add to this one. You do have enemies. You have enemies right now that have never met you before in your life, that you don't even know exist. Well, when I do that other channel, you guys will know about those enemies. And they are real. And I don't mean Satan. We already beat Satan, thanks. Just saying it's true. But be understanding of yourself and your time and what you have to do. Be safe in everything you do. This world is crazy right now. Remember, life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. You're not. So take now to do things outside your box. Learn everything you can. Pray, and all will be well. Oh, pray and obey. You can't just pray. Pray and obey. And you will be a soldier. That's what it's all for. So that being said, Until tomorrow, may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.